Good morning, I'm Margaret LALIK'S at LALIK'S kitchen. Thanksgiving is over and now we are preparing for Christmas. If you're wondering what to do with your leftover turkey, here is a great recipe for you. Today we are going to make Armenian traditional harissa. This is a traditional Armenian food. This food is usually made at church holidays or ceremonial events. Harissa is usually made with beef or lamb. It's also made with chicken, but if you make it with chicken, it's called JIDABOUR. Jid means jut. Jut means chicken. I prefer it with chicken or turkey meat, but you can make it with whichever way you prefer it. You can also make it with beef or lamb. It is the same cooking method. It is a comfort food and it has its nutritional benefits. It has a simple ingredients. Either turkey meat or any meat that you prefer, cracked barley, lots of onions. This is the leftover turkey breast that I had from Thanksgiving. I'm adding plenty of water to that and I'm going to simmer it for a long time. You can start it with a high heat, and once it starts boiling, you can turn it to low heat and simmer it until the water evaporates and reduces. Now it starts boiling. I'm going to turn the heat to simmer and let it simmer until the water reduces. It has been a while since I've been cooking and I noticed the liquid has been reduced and I'm going to turn it off. I turned it off and I'm going to let it cool down. My meat has cooled down and I'm going to start shredding it. As you can see, it has a little bit of liquid left, but it's okay. It's going to absorb the whole liquid. I will just leave it in. Since it has been cooking for a long time, it's easy to shred with 2 forks. It's pretty much falling apart. The liquid has been absorbed and my meat is all shredded and it's ready for the next step. I'm going to transfer the meat in a measuring cup so we can have an idea how much meat we are going to use for this recipe. If you are not familiar with barley, this is what it looks like. It's cracked and it's easier to cook. Here are the ingredients. I'm going to cook it in a crack pot in a slow cooker because I find it a lot easier to cook it in a slow cooker. I'm adding a cup of water to barley, but I think since we have a slow cooker and we are going to cook it for a long time, we don't need to wait for barley to absorb the water. This is per my mom's instruction. This is her recipe. They had to cook it on top of the stove and they had to stir it for a long time. Therefore, they had to soak barley in a water so it will be easier to cook. I think we can skip that step since we are going to cook it in the slow cooker. But if you're going to put it on the stove, on top of the stove, and you don't have a slow cooker, you can follow this step. I measured we have 4 cups of shredded chicken. Here it is. As you can see, it's 4 cups. We also have 2 cups of barley. And I added 1 cup of water on top of that. And 1 cup of 1 big chopped onion. Those are the 3 simple, easy ingredients. Of course, we're going to add spices, salt and pepper, and lots of water. On a side, I'm going to boil water and always have enough water to add on. Okay, here is my 4 cups of shredded chicken. One cup of chopped onions, white onions. 2 cups of barley soaked in water. salt and pepper a little bit. Later on we are going to add more. And plenty of water. This is it. We are going to stir it, put the lid on, and cook it for a long time. The more we cook, the better it will taste. I'm turning it on a high heat and I will come back and check on it after half an hour. I suggest you start cooking this food early in the morning because it takes a long time and you need to stir it quite often. It takes about 8 to 10 hours to cook this food, but with a slow cooker it's easier. But still you need to stir it from time to time and add water, add hot water, boiling water, and continue cooking it. 8 to 10 hours is a long time to cook a food, but you can do it in 2 parts. You can start one day and finish it the next day. To be honest with you, I started mine at night and I left it on a low simmer overnight, but in the morning I realized that it stuck to the bottom. Therefore, I would suggest you start in the morning and stir it from time to time to prevent from sticking to the bottom. I added plenty of water. I'm going to turn down the heat and continue cooking it for a long time. It has been cooking for last 7 or 8 hours already, but I still see there are some chunks. And I'm going to add more water and continue cooking it a little more until everything melts and it becomes more silkier and smoother. I'm adding salt and pepper and I'm going to stir it and taste it to see if it needs more. I will add more. Let's see how it's tasting. I'll get a spoon and we'll do a taste. I think we need more salt and pepper. I think it's enough now. But I'm going to add more hot water and continue cooking it until I get the smooth texture that I'm looking for. I'm also adding 2 sticks of butter and incorporating it into the harissa. Finally, our harissa is ready. Actually, this is JIDABOUR since it's made out of turkey meat. Our JIDABOUR is ready and we will plate it shortly. I'm melting some butter and I'm adding some red peppers. And we usually eat our harissa or JIDABOUR with melted butter with pepper. This is how we make it. It's so simple. Just melt the butter, add a little bit of red pepper, and we will garnish it, or we will drizzle this on top of the harissa. Here it is, and this is how we serve our JIDABOUR. We drizzle the melted butter on top of it. It adds to the taste actually. I love mine a little bit spicy. And that's all there is to it. It took a long time, but it was well worth it. I'm sure you're going to ask yourself if it's worth it to spend so much time to cook this kind of food. If you taste it once, I'm sure you'll know that it's well worth it. Yes, it is a long process to cook, but it's not hard. All you have to do, just put it in a slow cooker and stir it a few times. That's all there is to it. It cooks a long time, but you don't have to be busy on top of it all the 8 hours or 10 hours that you're cooking. This will conclude our harissa episode. I hope you enjoyed cooking with us, and we have a lot more delicious recipes coming for Christmas. Please turn on the notification button and be notified when we post the new episodes. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, wonderful week, and wonderful life. See you next time. Bye bye.